Meta may be crawling your site to train its AI, even when you tell it not to. Car companies may be selling your data to insurance companies, and it hurts at premium time. And Cisco makes employees wait a month to find out if they've been laid off. All this and more on The Beatings Will Continue Until Morale Improves edition of Hashtag Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. Meta, the parent company of Facebook, has recently released two new web crawling bots, Meta External Agent and Meta External Fetcher. These bots are intended to gather online content for training AI models and improving Meta's product offerings. Now, the robots.txt protocol has long been used by website owners to prevent automated web scraping. However, Meta's new bots appear to be designed to bypass these restrictions. The Meta External Fetcher bot in particular has a warning that says, may bypass robot.txt rules. Another tactic employed by Meta is to combine two functions into a single bot, the Meta External Agent. This bot is used for collecting AI training data and indexing content, making it harder for website owners to selectively block its activities. According to data from Originality.ai, the new Meta External Agent bot is blocked by only 1.5% of top websites, compared to the older Facebook bot, which is blocked by nearly 10% of websites. Experts suggest that companies like Meta should provide more transparency and options for website owners to control how their content is used for AI training, while still allowing indexing for improved visibility. Meta has published instructions on how to detect and block their agents from crawling their sites. We put a link on our site. Good luck in figuring them out. According to a new investigation published in PIRG.org, companies like GM, Honda, Kia, Subaru, Hyundai, and Mitsubishi are collecting vast amounts of data on their drivers' behavior, everything from driving speeds to braking patterns. The troubling part is that these car companies are then secretly selling this highly personalized data to third-party data brokers who in turn resell it to other entities like insurance companies. According to reports, one driver found out his insurance rate spiked 21% overnight, simply because GM had sold his detailed driving data to an insurance company. Beyond just higher insurance costs, this unchecked data sharing puts consumers at risk of breaches, identity theft, and targeted scams as their personal information gets passed around without their knowledge or consent. Does this ever happen? Last week, we did a story you might remember on data broker National Public Data that got hacked and lost close to 3 billion records with your sensitive data. So the simple answer is yes. National Public Data gathered this sensitive information without either permission or even awareness. And disturbingly, consumers have little ability to opt out of this auto company data collection either, as much of the tracking technology is built directly into new vehicles these days. Consumer advocates are now urging car companies to be more transparent and stop selling customers' driving data for purposes beyond providing a safe and functional vehicle experience. Others are lobbying for legislation to, if not prevent, at least regulate this process. We've pointed out in the past that even the U.S. government, instead of flirting with the edges of legality and gathering information on its citizens, just buys it from brokers. As the data economy continues to grow, it's clear car companies and others must be held accountable for how they handle customers' personal information. And while the published accounts are from U.S. consumer complaints, our Canadian listeners should be equally concerned about this latest incursion into their privacy. And when do layoffs stop being merely bad and move into horrible treatment of workers? After letting go of about 4,000 workers earlier this year, Cisco has now confirmed plans to lay off another 7% of its workforce, following lower than expected earnings. According to Cisco employees who spoke to a publication called TechCrunch, the company is delaying notification of affected workers until September 16th, nearly a month after the decision was made. And not surprisingly, this has created a toxic environment at Cisco, with one anonymous employee saying, "The mood is as dark as I've ever seen it." Many are simply waiting until their next stock vesting to leave the company. Another employee criticized Cisco, saying the company needs to stop layoffs every year and work on innovation and getting more revenue. And meanwhile, Cisco's CEO Chuck Robbins received $31.8 million in total compensation last year, despite the company's financial challenges. As major tech firms continue to struggle, the human cost of these repeated layoffs is taking a toll on Cisco's workforce and others. And a news flash for the CEOs of these companies. Your employees are human beings with families, mortgages, and kids to feed. And if you'll forgive me a few moments of editorializing, I'm not picking on Cisco in particular. They've just been the latest in a growing trend. The former CEO Eric Schmidt of Google recently was caught talking about how Google had lost its mojo, and he blamed it on remote work. Apparently his theory is having work-life balance is deadly for competitiveness. Now I'm just going to ask, is there another possibility why tech companies are losing their real competitive edge? Could it be that HR baffle gab that they spout about people being their only real competitive edge might actually be, God forbid, true? So maybe they've lost their edge because they treat their people like crap? Just saying. And that's our show for today. Love to hear your opinion on this or anything else. You can reach me at editorial@technewsday.ca. You can find the show notes at our news site, technewsday.com or .ca. Take your pick. Hashtag Trending is still on summer hours, so there's no morning news edition tomorrow, but our weekend show will be released early on Friday. Our weekend show this week is going to be a short one, but I think it's timely. We had a conversation last week about cyber insurance for SMBs, and I managed to get the CEO of a Canadian insurance company on the phone to actually talk about how you can find affordable insurance and some of the tips he has. Check it out this weekend on hashtag Trending, and we're going to have a special edition on cybersecurity today as well. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a thrilling Thursday.